What up with y'all? This your boy C Keys. Chilling, vibing. And I was writing a song and I started spazzing out. And in that spaz out, I started saying some things that I wasn't even prepared to say. It came from a whole different part of me, shall I say. Um, and some people might get offended by this, but I think it's time that maybe I get my opinion on it. I've been doing music for a very long time. The decisions and the directions in which I've chosen to go during this whole maze of me exploring my talent, um, I can honestly say that I have accomplished success in the sense of I released a project. I was able to be known literally worldwide. I didn't make a whole bunch of money by any means off the music because my original direction was passion. When I first started doing this music thing, I was listening to artists and trying to outright them. They were my opponents. When it came to freestyling and I was introduced to freestyling, I wanted to be better than myself. There have been times that I could be rapping in my subconscious while I'm driving or anything, and I could literally hear the perfect verse, the perfect song. And when I go to spit it, it doesn't come out the way it's coming out from that direction. I want to rip that person. Now, I grew up on an era of lyricism. I grew up on lyricism more so lean heavily towards opposed to entertainment. You know, a lot of cats disrespect MC Hammer. Okay, so if you dissing MC Hammer, then everything that you accomplishing or trying to do right now, he started that. Now, this is the thing that kills me about it. And I was around during this era, so if you try to question me and you haven't been around for this era, I don't even have a conversation for you. Really. And if you're around for that era and you were a tiny little baby, I don't have no conversation for you. Because I was there. I was around. During the time that Hammer reigned, he was independently making more money than artists that were signed to labels. And he was doing it on the West Coast pretty much, for the most part. When he finally did hit it big and started doing commercials, started coming out with his own type of clothing line, when he had his own cartoon. I remember in the hood, we went to a rec center. They gave us Hammer dolls with like the "You Can't Touch This" tape in it, and it was spray painted gold, and it had the EKs on. Man, he was marketing himself ahead of his time. And the same artist, I never forget this because this was around the time I was being exposed to hip hop, and there is a difference between the genres of music because at the time I was doing what they call street music or gangster music. And I was no gangster, but I loved to rap. And I hadn't been exposed to hip hop. I had heard of music that was, innovative, but I didn't have a name for it. And people in my area in the West Coast didn't talk about it. You see what I'm saying? So I was doing street music. But then when street shit started happening and I was age 16 and I could spit, but I wasn't doing what I was spitting. I had a conviction within me during that time. And I decided I wasn't going to rap. I saw Keith Murray's video, most beautifulest thing in the world. He danced on my favorite car. Was that Lexus? What was it? The Lexus SC400? Yeah, it sure was. And I said, man, what is this? He dancing on a car that I want. What is this? And when I saw that, and someone explained to me metaphorically, and I don't even know if this is the direction Keith Murray was coming from with that, but he was showing that this tangible thing is not shit compared to my style. Because literally he was walking all on the car, spitting. Man, changed my whole perspective on music. And then when my boy Pinup from Miscellaneous introduced me to the art of, the elements. He let me hear that Mysterious Misfits joint. It convinced me that hip hop was the direction to go because I could spit abstract. It was about flexing your skills. So back to the old freestyle. Because I sidetracked a little bit. Back to Hammer. When Hammer was out, there were a lot of artists on Hammer's way out that were making songs and dissing him in them. Like back in the 90s. And I'm not going to name these artists. Dig and find out. Making videos clowning this dude. And as soon as they took him out the game, then they started doing the same thing. Today's marketing scheme and structure is pretty much what Hammer was doing in the 80s and early 90s. And then you artists, want to claim original, but you spitting and bumping the same thing that somebody else is doing, but you're original. So every time the genre change, as far as the sound, you ready to change. And then you talk that, oh, that's because I'm versatile. I feel you, but I don't feel you. So what is your core belief when it comes to your lyrics? My core belief personally is lyricism. I have to stand out. When it comes to music and lyrical wordplay and techniques and the way I flip my words, I want that to stand out just as much as the beat. I don't want to bump a beat because somebody else is spitting that same type of beat. You feel what I'm saying? You guys are so caught up on this fad and trend shit that you don't even know what original is. Quote me on that. How the hell you gonna tell dudes be like, man, I'm coming with that original shit, man. Man, check my music out. And by the way, I don't tell the average person I rap. And the cold part is, it's not because I'm ashamed of my skill, because there's so many of you whack fools out there that when I say I rap, they automatically associate me with your ass. And the difference between me and you is I'm a lyricist. You a rapper. What is the difference between the two? And I may call myself a rapper sometimes because the trend or the habit of the word being rapper is there. I'm a lyricist. Total difference. A rapper is someone that can adapt and rhyme words. They follow trends mostly. First they starting on break beats. Then they starting on some other shit. And then they end up on some trap house shit. And everything is changing. But it's the same stuff all the time. Same stuff all the time. And a lot of these dumbass fans go pick up that music and make these dudes richer. And now they tell you what's dope. So you hear something, you go pick it up because somebody else is telling you that this is the next hottest music. I will rip your favorite artist. Quote me on that. 98% of you guys out there, I'll rip you on the mic. Freestyle, off the dome, rip you. There's a good 2 to 3% that'll either slay me on the mic, which is a very small percentile of that. There's a few artists out there that, may beat me, based on punchlines and shit. And then there's those that just may catch me on a bad day. So that equals that total of 2%. That other 98 is mine. Take a bunch of topics, throw them in the hat, shake them up. Let's battle like that. Pull them things out of the hat and let's see how consistent you are without falling off. That's what I call music. That's what I call hip hop. You know what I'm saying? All this shit y'all doing to get on the radio, hella desperate and shit, and calling that hip hop, y'all poisoning the well. Y'all poisoning the well. And you know it. You just want to blow up so bad. See, I'm comfortable. If I don't become, rich off rap, I'm cool. Because I've applied myself with other skills in my life that will allow me to take care of my family. If I blow up, cool. But when it comes to skill, there's no question. I'm dope. And that's no arrogance and that's no cockiness. That's the reality of what I do when it comes to skills. I'm dope. And I wish there were a lot of other artists that I can honestly say feels that in their heart. Because there are some dope lyricists out there. A lot of them that slept on. Oh my goodness. I can go on and on and on. From the underrated artists to the man. And I don't want to name names because A, I don't want to leave anyone out. And B, I don't want to offend nobody because they're not mentioned. Because some of y'all out there are unskilled. And you know it. I have cats that come in my car that know I do music And they'll be like, oh, my shit may not be dope like yours on the mic, but man, check out this beat, it's stupid slapping. Okay, so you telling me you want me to hear some bullshit over a beat. And the reason why he has a valid point, because he rhyming that bullshit over that beat, and he's gonna get more fans than I would. I have artists I don't even tell that I rap, and then I get tired of hearing them play they shit to me all the time, and it's remedial. And then I'll play my shit and they'll get super quiet. And I'll still motivate them, but I don't want them to feel like I'm disrespecting them because my music is killing theirs. That's the reality. That's no arrogance or no cockiness. Hey, I love everybody pursue. Even if you garbage as shit, pursue your career. If money is your goal, get that money. But if you talking you the greatest of all time and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you offending artists like myself, because I'm not the only one out there that feel this way. We skilled. We know this history. We've been around. Y'all missed the golden era. The golden era is killing all this shit that's out right now. All this that's out. Because one of the requirements back during the golden era is you had to have lyrics. But it was a balance. You still had your, on the fence, cool songs that come on the radio that everybody dance to and stuff. You had those type of artists. But then you also had a fair play to share of lyricists. An artist that was preserving the art. Now it's oversaturated with bullshit. And anything that's outside of this bullshit that's out and saturated right now is not considered music. We've all fell a victim to it. We've all fallen a victim to it. And I spazzed out writing this verse. And I couldn't get down on paper what I'm saying right now. So I had to put it out there. I pray lyricists such as myself feel as fired up as I do right now. I pray that you guys, and the ones that ain't up to par are the ones that sold their skill out for the sake of money. Like dumb your shit down so whack that, dude, you sound like a former shell of yourself. I hope y'all hear this and step y'all bars up. And I'm not talking on this bullshit they talking about right now that's happening on the radio. I'm talking about real stuff. What's going on in your life? Tell me, show me technique-wise. Even if it's abstract and you ain't talking about absolutely nothing. I'm cool with that. If your technique skill, your assessment of the lyrics are preserving the art of what this shit started from the beginning. We have let corporate America take what we preserve and turn it in an oversaturated image of itself, and people are making money off of it, and they're not even living that lifestyle. It's okay to be whack and lie about what you do. Have a police report cleaner than a Xerox sheet of paper, but be on the track lying your ass off. And it's okay if you famous and you got bread. But if a broke dude do that, the hood would ridicule him. They'd probably whoop his ass. Think about the concept of that. They sell you a dream. It's basically a movie. And it's cool. If you're making movie music, do it. I encourage you if that's the way you're making your money. But create a lane or preserve the art. If you just don't sell all the way out. Don't dumb it all the way down. If I don't blow, I want to be proud of the next dude that's doing it, that's blowing up. But I want him to be on that level. And there's a few artists out there that are like that now that I totally respect. Because they got their bars up. Again, not mentioning names because I don't want people to get offended. I know I went off on this tangent and I apologize. But I'm tired of it. And I'm willing to challenge it. Throw some topics in the hat and let's get down. I'm better than your favorite artist on the freestyle. So encourage him to step his bars up. Let's change how people view our music. They view it as some sloppy bullshit stuff that you could chant all day that makes no sense. And then our kids are chanting this shit. programming their mind to think like it don't make sense. This music they make now is giving kids ADHD. And y'all letting them. Step your bars up, bro. Step your bars up. This is C Keys, man. I love y'all. Some of y'all on some bullshit. And I'm only here to help. So as I say in my previous messages, take a long look in the mirror, man. Don't look at it as me getting on you or ridiculing you, because on the reels, if you offended at what I'm saying right now, that means you one of them people I'm talking about. Just step your bars up. And if you feel some type of way, let's go. C Keys, man. Black Dynamite coming soon. Shout out to my man Centric. Free at last music. Genius, Trife. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. Niggas, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying Crano, man. Shout outs to my homeboys, man. All my new trees folks, man. Shout out to Ono, man. Shout out to the whole the whole Oxnard camp, man. All them fools, man. And holding it down. Love y'all. Keep them bars up. Nigga mad. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me for using that N word. Because you know what? That's going to be my next message. Hate that word. Just come out sometimes because I've been programmed and I'll admit that. Next topic, too. I appreciate y'all.